Welcome back, welcome back, welcome back. All right, welcome back. The math is easy. Step by step. We are talking about congruencies and supplementary angles, and I wanted to get right on in here to it. So we have two parallel lines. I know they're lines because they have an arrow at the end. That means these lines go on and on and on and on forever. I know they're parallel because of these two arrows you see here. And these two parallel lines are cut with a line called a transversal line. That creates very special, unique angles that are both supplementary, right? They can add up to 180 degrees, and congruent. They're equal to each other, okay? And so I want to emphasize that only when you see the parallel lines cut by a transversal line do these congruency rules apply. Okay, they must be parallel and they must be cut by a transversal. Now, if the two lines are not parallel and they're cut by a transversal, the two angles adjacent to one another, they still will add up to 180 degrees of straight line. But the two lines have to be parallel, cut by a transversal, in order for those congruent angles to apply. So they form some special uh, contrasts to each other. So anything highlighted in yellow added with anything highlighted in green here, you're going to equal 180 degrees or a straight line, right? So 40 up here, the green, plus the yellow 140 equals 180 degree, a straight line. These two angles are called supplementary angles, right? And so we have anything highlighted, any angle highlighted in green is going to be equal or congruent. Spoke about that just a moment ago in that part 3 and part 2 videos. Congruent, right? Congruent. That means anything in green will be 40 degrees. And anything highlighted in yellow will also be congruent or equal to any angle highlighted in yellow. So 140 degrees will be equal to 140, 140, and 140. All the green angles are 40 degrees, right? So if you're completing that, I'm going to show you this here down below. Again, if I'm going too fast, please stop, pause, rewind the video. And that's the beauty of having video. So here you can see here, any angles highlighted in yellow is congruent or equal to each other. Any angles highlighted in green are equal or congruent to each other. Any angles in green, any angle in green, excuse me, added to any angle in yellow will give you 180 degrees. 140 in yellow plus 40 degrees in green. These are supplementary angles. They will add up to 180 degrees. So let's get on back to answering that test question. We have here a diagram. And then as a reminder, you are to select the best answer to fill in the blank spaces below. And the options you had to choose from of the answers are here. Acute angles. Oh, baby, we got some shaking happening. I'm sorry, this is really shaky today. Reflexive angles, congruent angles, obtuse angles, supplementary angles, and complementary angles. All right, and by the way, complementary angles add up to be 90 degrees. We didn't discuss that before. Supplementary angles add up to be 180 degrees. Okay, so angle 3 is a obtuse angle. Let's go ahead and take a look at that angle 3. Angle 3 would have been represented by the 140 degrees. So remember, obtuse angle is greater than 90 but less than 180. So that first blank would be obtuse. All right, no, I can't get rid of the shaking. Angles 3 and 1 are supplementary. supplementary, right? Angles 3 and angle 1 are supplementary. They would add up to 180 degrees. They are supplementary. Angle 8 is a acute angle. So angle 8 is an acute angle. And if you remember, angle 8 would have been represented by this 40-degree angle. One way to remember acute is, remember, acute is less than 90 degrees. So, oh, isn't this angle acute? Oh, it's so acute. It's 40 degrees. It's less than 90 degrees. How acute? How acute is that? Okay, it's not funny. I'm going to stop. All right. Angles 8 and angle 5, angle 8 and angle 5 are congruent angles, right? Angle 8 and angle 5. So I'm going to show you here. Angle 8 was right here. Angle 5 was right here. And as you can see, they are congruent angles. And so here are those answers once again. Oh man, I got a little bit of shaking happening here. I'm so sorry about the shaking. And what I like to do with this last particular, again, if I'm going too fast, stop, pause, rewind that video and watch it again. This is how you can conduct an internet search in order to practice some of these skills and increase your skills and get better and better and better. So when you take these standardized exams, you can pass, right? Math is typically one of the harder assessments for the GED or HiSET to pass. All right, so conducting internet searches to practice your skills. Search for worksheets with answers. You want to check your answers. You want to know if you're doing the work correctly, right? And if you are doing it correctly, excuse me, just keep doing it correctly, right? But if you maybe got an answer wrong, look back through your work, right? Clearly, find the mistake, and then fix it. Don't do it again the next problem that you practice. You'll get better, 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 right? You're only doomed to make those mistakes over and over again if you don't learn from them. So learn from them, right? Okay, you can absolutely do this. Trust me, you can get her done. All right, search for worksheets with answers on finding alternating interior angles versus alternating exterior angles versus corresponding angles versus supplementary angles versus congruent angles. Now, I'm going to be going over all of these different types of angles in later videos. But if you want to get started now practicing those, I strongly suggest you get her done. Get her done! Okay. So some other worksheets you can look for and trying to find more practicing for your knowledge, skills, and abilities. Worksheets with answering and solving one-step and two-step equations. So I've seen some problems in the GED where they'll give you an angle and they'll ask you to find either X, Y, or Z and then fill in the remaining angles. And sometimes it's a two-step. Many times it's just a one-step. Sometimes it's a two-step equation you need to solve. So work on those particular skills. Another worksheet with answers on understanding obtuse versus acute angles, congruent angles versus supplementary angles. That was a mistake. Supplementary angles versus complementary angles. So let me fix that mistake. Supplementary. That's an RY. Supplementary angles. You look up these problems, find some worksheets, practice them with answers, and you'll get better, 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 better. I promise you, you can do this. You can absolutely do this. Math is easy. Take it step by step. Please like, follow, and share these videos. Thank you for joining.